Okay, so for those of you who thought that I completely forgot about the gifts of the Spirit, I did not. I'm back and ready on it. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing the gift of healing and the gift of miracles. They might sometimes be interchanged, but I just want to point out the differences. Okay, and so healing, according to the Strong's Concordance, is a remedy or medicine or a means of healing. So when you think of healing, it should go along with a sickness or something that is an ailment that might need some type of cure. So, like, I've experienced healing. I remember as a little girl that I had not broken, it was sprained my ankle or something like that. I needed crutches and things like that. And so when I went home that day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I should be able to pray. Like, I shouldn't be having a limp and walk around in pain and stuff like that. Like, the Lord, they talk about him all the time at church. Like, I'm gonna try him for myself. And so I remember, saying my prayer in the room by myself after we left the hospital. And then, I heard that voice that said, get up, and walk. And then I was like, oh, and then I started walking and then I started jumping. Then like I felt the power of God like hit my ankle and I was good after that. And I was like, oh, this really works, right? I have faith, that kid faith is the real faith. And so anyways, for miracles, the definition of miracles is, it actually has a pretty diverse amount of words, meanings. So we have strength, power, ability, and then some of the definitions for miracle that kind of stand out to me are the moral power and excellence of soul, the power and influence which belongs to riches and wealth, and then powers and resources arising from numbers, and then power consisting in or resting upon armies, forces, and hosts. And so I can think of from the Bible times are like, okay, the Lord feeding with 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, right? We all know that one. Parting of the Red Sea, that's definitely a miracle. And then when Elijah tells his servant, well, he asked God, open up his eyes so that he can see that there are more with us than with, the opposition. And that's when he saw the chariots of fire and like all the angels, the angel army, like really literally right there. And then he realized, oh, it's not just the two of us here. Like we have backup, And so that was definitely miraculous. And then, of course, let's not forget the talking donkey that I recently read about in Numbers. And so when we think about the gifts, all the gifts of the Holy Spirit are all for the benefit of the church as a whole. And so although we have multiple gifts, ultimately everything from the Holy Spirit is supposed to turn us back to Jesus, turn us back to God, right? And so it doesn't matter who has this gift and who doesn't. The point is that we all come back and glorify the Father and give glory to him.